Oh, that's like I was talking to Natalie there again. I still find it amazing that she's a vegan and me and her get along so well. Anyway, she was talking about a holiday they have. I think it's in Greece, uh, where she's originally from, and she was doing a version of it. She was talking about it being vegan, and anyway, she goes on to talk about how it's a uh, celebration they have in the street, and it lasts for a few days, if I remember right. And all it is everybody comes out into the street, and it's like a great big cookout. And all they do is barbecue different meats of all kinds and styles. And she goes, it's just the whole town is filled with the smell of cooked meat. And I'm like, that's when I
What?
would have to come visit you. Okay.
Yeah,
It has to be during a holiday.
definitely.
And she was laughing. She goes, yeah, she goes, when I was doing this, she goes, I was thinking of you and how much you would like that. And I was like, you have no idea. You have no idea. I,
Definitely something I would like to see.
yeah. And you know, of course, I've never lied about it. I love meat as a rule. And when, okay, like we want to go visit some countries and they all involve the street foods, which is something we really don't have here in the United States. We don't really have, you know, the street food availability like a lot of these countries where,
Hmm.
I mean, you can't go down a street and not have somebody out there with something, you know.
Hmm.
And here everything's so regulated that you just can't do that. And especially the Asian and a lot of the Middle Eastern countries, especially, where you're just walking around and there's just any kind of meat you
Yeah.
could possibly ever want on a stick. And it's like, oh, see, can I just go up and get? I need 3 of those and 2 of them and just all of those. And
Food
you know,
tribe heaven. Food tribe
yeah,
heaven.
I just have to go to have a meat coma later, but it'd be fine.
Yeah.
And
Who's that?
if
Oh, that's dog. He's in a meat coma. Just let him be.
yeah, he'll
Just
wake
let
up
him on
and
the ground. Who cares? Just don't walk. Just walk around him.
yeah, just let me lay there for a day or so. I'm just digesting. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I could combine a place that has like that kind of cheese selection and then that kind of
Hmm.
just cook, I just live there. I just stay there. It's just my
Yeah, you
thing.
should go to, I believe, India or Japan. I think Japan will be great for you because there are a lot of meat, I believe, too. Besides the fish, meat.
Thailand,
Thailand
it's
more? Or
all
India?
everything's on a stick. I mean, they will put any kind of meat on a stick. You just walk around with it, and I'm like, that's just me, man. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, or
But
Indonesia.
yeah, but I tell you one thing I would love to do. Germany has them crispy pork knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, I need that in my life. I was watching a YouTuber who went, well, actually, a couple of them, and they said that's the first thing you have to do is when you go to Germany is get a crispy pork knuckle. And I was watching that, and I thought pigs would start shaking when I got there because there'd be a bunch of legless pigs in Germany. I'm telling you.
Oh, I agree. The best food I ever had was in Germany when I was working for the Dutch military. Not that I was a soldier or something. I was working for them as an engineer, and they sent me to Germany a couple of times, and I always loved it just for the food. I mean, I still can remember one of these dishes. It was just a lot of French fries, chips, how you want to call it, and as a meat they had um, was chicken wrapped in bacon, and then they had a sauce around it. What was the sauce? Um, Let me guess. Oh, I know it, but I just don't know the English word. Sorry. Uh, Sorry, it was cauliflower. Sorry, yeah, cauliflower sauce. Yes, sorry, I don't use the word cauliflower a lot, but
I don't
they had
either.
it complete. Yeah, it's too healthy. No, actually, they had it, and I can definitely, if you are able to make something like chicken, where wrapped in bacon with chips, French fries, and cauliflower sauce, try it. It's really
Oh,
good. It's really good.
that sounds good. Of course, bacon and chicken go together really well.
I didn't
Uh,
like bacon, so that was some new experience for me.
well, and it obviously, look, I'm American through and through. But if you actually go and check my my lineage, I guess you could say, there's a lot of German there, which explains a lot because I love like sauerkraut and I can put mashed potatoes with absolutely anything. It's fine. It's and that's one of the things I do love because and bread. It's like you give me bread, mashed potatoes, meat of some kind, I'm good. I'm good. But like I said, I love my cheese and stuff, and I love looking at the different foods, going, yeah, that shows, that explains why I like those things, because if you go like my heritage, there's a lot of German there, and it's like that explains a lot. That just explains a lot.
Yeah, remembers me again of one time in Germany with the military was when we were to Honefels in Germany on an American military base, and when people actually were inside this base, all the Dutch soldiers just went to the supermarket, the American supermarket on this military base, and they all want to buy beef jerky. I don't know if they have it in the Netherlands. So please don't shoot me if they do. But I was like, why? I mean, what? they all just wanted to. Do you still have beef jerky? What? And they just took everything. They bought everything. There was nothing more on this base. They bought everything. They just had to come in with a C-70 extra with beef jerky because the Dutch were there. It was just ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
It was like, and I was like, I just didn't like it. So I was like, have you seen those cornflake boxes? They're bigger than ours. So I was like, okay. And they go, no, beef jerky. I was like, why? I just couldn't. I just didn't understand anything.
Yeah. Jerky's the thing over here. As a rule, everybody eats it. I mean, not everybody, but you know what I mean. It's really popular. Now there's a few store brand ones where you can go out and buy them, and they're okay. In fact, I can't even think of the names of them. There's a couple that I've had, and I'm like, that's all right. The best ones by far are homemade ones. Me and my wife, we usually make our own, and usually we only make deer jerky from deer. And you can make a lot of jerky out of a deer, and I will sort of live on it. After hunting season's over, and if we have enough to make some. It is just so good. It is something you can just walk around with a piece of and just chew on it for a while. And I can't say nothing. But as far as going out and buying like Slim Jims, which is like the most popular version around here, I don't like them. First of all, they're super greasy and they're oily, and I don't like that. The flavor's kind of okay, but they shouldn't be that greasy. I don't like that. So, I like jerky as a rule. I'm American, so I guess I should. It's just part of who we are, I think. But
it's part of the Constitution. You have to eat jerky, or else you're not American.
Yeah, I think if you ever become an American citizen, somehow you have to swear to eat beef jerky. But I am a fan of wild game jerkies. I really have. I've had like bison and elk and a few others, and they're really good. So just your standard off the shelf from Walmart or whatever.
It's actually kind of harsh. You said, yeah, it's real good. You should eat it. I can't eat it. I will die if I do. No, yeah, you should eat it. It's really, really good. And I was actually all the time. You said, I just let him go. I'm just like, I can't eat it. But other people can eat it.
Yeah, other people watching and listening can eat it.
Yeah, we know. We joke all the time about this. So
yeah, we do. And for anybody who's listening, look, we talk all the time, and we're just playing. Don't take anything seriously. Because we
not
don't.
Always. Not everything is serious.
No. Just like he didn't get upset when me and Jane was laughing at him for his spilling wine on his
keyboard. Yeah,
we wasn't laughing at him. We was laughing with him. Yeah. That's
with him. That was. It was a good idea. It was just the practical stuff that went wrong.
The unforeseen stuff.
because people won't understand what we meant. So what I actually did, if there was the bottle of the wine, there was so much pieces of cork in it. So what I did was, let me grab one. Is one of these. These are actually just tea bags. You just put in the tea, and I actually put it over it to actually. Let me make sure it's on.
Do this again, okay?
And I just open, and so the wine will actually be filtered, but it went definitely wrong. Everything was wine except me or my glass, but everything was wine. So in that conversation, I actually had to take my entire keyboard apart and clean it. Took me 2 hours or something, 2 or 3 hours. In the middle of the night, it was around 12 midnight. It was around 12.
Like that, yeah. It was late, and from our standpoint, I'm sure Jane would agree with this. Is we're sitting here talking and just yakking like we are right now, literally, and he comes up with this whole teabag condom thing, and we're laughing about that because that was just hilarious. And we was like, hey, that's a good idea because that bottle of wine had some stuff in it, man. It
was disgusting. It was really disgusting. It was like drinking and get it out.
Yeah,
it was a good idea. It was just not very practical.
Yeah, it worked in theory. I mean, because I thought, well, if anybody would have seen the phone call, beforehand, I was like, dude, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Until we're sitting here, we're just talking. We see him go to pour it, and it's like perfect comedic timing because we're just talking, and all of a sudden he goes like that, and it just goes in his big fan of wine.
I think it was a good idea, but just don't pour it in a glass straight away. Pour it in a bucket or something first.
Yeah.
And when it's filtered, put it back in a clean bottle and then pour it.
Yeah.
I think that's the best idea. Try this at home, but make sure you're sophisticated. Be more intelligent about it. Don't think like me.
Yeah. It was a great idea up until
until I arrive.
And don't do it over your keyboard. That's the other takeaway.
Yeah.
I was telling Leela about it, and we got to laughing, and she just looked at us when I said when I originally said about you drinking a 33-year-old bottle of wine, she didn't think anything about that. And we got to laughing about the keyboard and stuff, and I was explaining what went wrong with the tea bag. And she just kind of looked at me, and I said, yeah, he put that on there to filter all the stuff out. And she just kind of looked at me like, what's he filtering out of a bottle of wine? Well, then I had to tell her, I was like, first of all, if you would have seen that green and black cork that was in the bottle, and she just looked at me with this horrified look on her face. And I said, and then as he was trying to get the wine bottle opener on it, the cork was literally just disintegrating as it spun down. And we was waiting for the cork just to literally rot down into the bottle.
Yeah, but it took me like 3 minutes to get it out. I mean, you can't really see it because I actually did it very quietly, but I actually had to speed up the entire bit. I just couldn't grip. It was like, oh damn it. But finally, it took me like 3 or 5 minutes to get it out, and it was not really out because it was still halfway in, but it was completely black. And if I just had to push it a little bit, like you push on your cell phone, it was just gone.
Yeah,
it was really, but it was a good wine.
Yeah, you had crystallized sugar or whatever down on the bottom.
I really loved it. I mean, you have seen it. I mean, when the video started, I had like 2 glasses more. And then suddenly it was just rotten. It was just completely gone. It was very sour and it was disgusting suddenly. And then the incident happened. And
yeah. I mean, hey, I gotta say, you handled it well. Considering I would not have been a happy camper.
Well, that's the engineer inside me, I guess. But it was freaking out. I have showed you how my computer was freaking out. It was like the Windows start menu just showed itself every half a second, like, and it was like, this is, and then Jane responds, that ain't right.
Yeah,
I was like, you seriously?
Yeah, that's not normal. No kidding. Oh,
no way.
Oh yeah. That's the thing.
So this is typical. Try this at home, but
Yeah.
No
Yeah, there's
key
a lot of
portion.
butt there. There's a
There
lot
is
of
a but.
big, round, bodacious butt. Don't, yeah.
Not in
Yeah.
front of the keyboard or above it. Well, I
Yeah.
still have one sticky button, so I still have to clean it a bit. But for the
Oh,
rest, it works fine. I
yeah.
can do 3D modeling and I can do gaming, so it all works fine.
That's the biggest part. As long as it's not a key that's important, like enter, or
No,
something.
it's only important. Well, it's actually the button next to the enter, so it's only important when I type in English. So
Oh, well.
no problem with Dutch, which I almost never used actually.
Right. That's the, yeah. So if you hear us back and forth on certain things, understand we've talked enough now that we know we joke around and we understand that nothing's taken the wrong way. Obviously. So yeah, that was bad. I thought I was actually happy to be a part of that. There was a few of us that are normally in calls I would have liked to had there because I think that would have been hilarious too. But hey, I was just happy that me and I got to be a part of it. And I know me and Jamie even in the comments and on different parts of Discord was laughing about it to each other because it was just yeah. It was just perfect comedic timing, man. You couldn't have planned that to be any better.
Yeah, I think John Coleman wanted to see it as well, but
Yeah.
he really hates himself right now, or us because he wasn't invited. So, well, he was invited, he just couldn't get there. He was on holiday, I believe.
I can't remember now, and I'm sure Fulana would have cried, because she loves
Yeah,
you.
she would definitely. She would just say mine. No, no mine, no mine.
Yeah, that was one of the things we was explaining too. Was the little quirks that we have built over the time. Like her with mine. I brought up about the whole we have our own personal kind of Discord some of us hang out in. And that was one of her first things is when she found out that you could do custom emojis and stuff. She
Mine.
wanted a mine emoji and just,
Yes, and you a burger emoji, and someone wanted Dutch waffles emoji. I think I have added like over 30, so 30 emojis. I mean, all simple requests, like one of a guy with a beer bottle who was an alcoholic because I needed it.
Yep.
No, I enjoy a drink, but that's it.
Yeah.
Let's not go back to my keyboard again. And which one more? We had so many. I mean,
Yeah, I think
some Polish ones and
yeah.
a Pac-Man pizza, just because we can. Pac-Man who hunts a pizza slice.
That's hilarious. Yeah. And I tell you what, that would be a thing. If I ever did get to go to the Netherlands and hang out, that Fulana would kill me because I'd have to figure out, not only would I have to figure out a way to get out of the Netherlands with boxes of pastries, okay, first of all. Then I'd have to figure out how to get them to New York, which is, I'm pretty sure she's in New York, to her there. And I'm like, that probably ain't going to happen.
Well, I think there is a problem at first. You can't get in the airliner.
Yeah,
I think you will be too wide for the airplane's doors, and if you even get through that, the aircraft just can't lift off. It's just too heavy. So you have to go by freight boat, ship, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, as long as it doesn't go through the Suez Canal, you're fine.
Yeah, right.
you will be stuck in the British Channel.
She'd be so angry with me. She found out. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I was eating all those good ones and not sharing with her.
Yeah,
I'm sure we
actually post a photo of every pastry shop and everywhere.
Well, yeah, and then I would have to do like vlog videos and put them up on this channel of walking around in the pastry shop showing her everything and be like, yeah, he brought me here, and this is what we're eating, and
always end bye Fulana. That would be very very annoying. I'm sure she can handle this. She knows us. Before people think, why you say something like that to someone who isn't present?
Yeah. She understands. She knows.
She knows us. She knows that we're lunatics together. So
Yeah, and and all you have to do is listen for the flap of the dragon wings, and you know.
Yeah. Where's my bow? Where's my bow? Where's my shotgun?
Well, and that's that's actually a very good prime example. There is a handful of us that have gotten pretty close on Food Tribe, and just like like you said, you grab your bow. Most people think, oh my goodness, he's getting violent. No, he's not. It's hilarious. The post you done on Food Tribe where you showed yourself shooting the bow and you talk about getting ready for Fulana. And then all of a sudden you see, and your target's a dragon. And to those of us who are in the know, that is too funny. That is just, I was literally laughing, man. I mean, cracking up because that's an inside joke. I know that. And we was talking about, well, when it was me, Jane, and Leela. Anybody who's watched the first podcast. That's one of the things we got into was there are so many inside jokes now between people and different things, like even nicknames have come about because of getting to know each other. Just like Fulana got it, the food burglar, because, well, her and her stealing food, and people don't realize that, a lot of these jokes are what we share, just between each other and stuff. And, now a lot of it does spill out into Food Tribe, but if you're not in the comments and you don't read everything thoroughly, you don't realize how this works. And there's a lot of things, when me and Jane was explaining certain things to Leela, that, people probably think we're absolutely crazy because, here's Fulana coming to steal your food on her dragon. And she's got her invisible cloak that she can wear to sneak through your house. And you're out there with like the time you showed the anti-aircraft gun saying, I'm ready.
Yeah, we are like Lord of the Food, Lord of the Pastries, the Fellowship at the food table or something. Yeah. We're just joking around all the time.
And I remember when Emilia and Fulana was going at it because Fulana kept wanting to steal Amelia's food, and Amelia ended up with the pierogi tank, and yep. It was Fulana on her dragon and Amelia on her pierogi tank and all this other stuff. Well, and then it's just nonsense all the time. It just really is a lot of
fun.
Well, and that's it. It is a lot of fun. And, like I said, if you're not in on the jokes or you haven't paid attention enough to know really what we're doing, it's too much fun. And you probably think these people are literally crazy. They've done lost their mind. And it's
we are.
Well, probably. But we have found people that line up with our sense of humor is basically what it is. And it makes things a lot more fun. It ain't as I'm trying to find a nice word here. Food Tribe is a very fun place as a rule, but when you've gotten close to people and got to know them more, where you can joke around a lot more and be a little more free with them, it's a different level. It's a whole. It's not as I'm still trying to think of that word, and I don't want to say generic, but it's not as.
It's just friendship. I mean,
yeah, it is.
You know, with friends, how far you can go, and it's exactly like that.
Yeah, and that's a lot of it, and that's what makes things great. I mean, it is something where you've gotten to know people. Well, like the one time, what was it? I was it in the comments or Discord or something, and I was in VR visiting like different countries. I think the one time I was in Poland. And it was like you and Amelia and me and
with Google Street View that we actually showed where we lived.
Yeah. I was sitting in VR and like going through all the different places and looking them up and doing VR, and it was brilliant. And
it was actually quite, because I was like, should I do it? Should I do it? And I actually, what I was planning to do was actually go past every pastry shop. Here's that pastry shop. I just didn't do it. I thought that would be very, very. Let's not be that asshole. Let's not be that one.
And Yeah, we between between video calls we don't do them as much as we was because people's just busy right now. But just hanging out in Discord and the comments and stuff. I mean, we are always seeming to talk to each other pretty regularly. Just like that time you was playing video games on Discord, and I'm like, I wonder what he's playing. And me and you sit for almost the whole day and just sit and talk. You were showing me different games you play. And yeah, we had a great time.
It was fun.
Yeah, you were showing me your was it the Jurassic Park game? And
Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Evolution. So it's like a zoo simulation for Jurassic Park, so dinosaurs. Tomb Raider, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. We did the new Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is like a cartoon based with Greek mythology. And did I show you Kerbal about those green minions? Did I show? No, we didn't. Different time. We're not going to do it right now.
Yeah. I know you went through a bunch of games, and it was funny because I got to talk about, you showed me feeding your T-Rex and your Velociraptors.
Yeah. And we were like, we should show this to the vegetarians. Like,
we'll keep that out, yeah.
This is the Vegetriceratops.
Yeah.
And this is actually how I said it to you. This is because I am, well, I won't say I have, how you call it, that someone is very organized. I'm very organized, but not to, how you call it, OCD. I don't have OCD, but I am very organized. It's the engineering thing in me. And so I said to Doc, these are all the veggie dinosaurs, so all the herbivores. And these are your kind, the meat. And then came the T-Rex with the goat and the Velociraptor with the goat, and they're fighting each other.
And like I said, that turned into like a whole day thing. I mean, I just thought I'd stop in and see what you was playing, and I didn't even know how to do it. I didn't even know how to jump in and join, and then it was like, oh, okay. Next thing I know, we sitting there talking, and half the day was gone. It was like, wow, okay. So trust me, everything's been built over time. We've discussed a lot.
Yeah, it takes time.
It has, and it is cool. Just like watching you do some of your 3D printing you do is fantastic.
Yeah, I actually made sure because of course we didn't say, oh, let's have a call. No, we really organized this, so I made sure there wasn't like on the background because I think it was not the last time. It was one time that, well, you can hear it, but it's not unpleasant, I believe people say it, or they're just trying to be nice to me. But you can just hear in the background.
Yeah, I love seeing some of the stuff you do. Like you showing your cookie cutters you made, and that's brilliant. I mean, it really is. But I'm sorry, the cookie cutters are really cool, and that is related to FoodTribe, so I get it. But what a lot of people don't see is like, the Lamborghini and the tank, was a Panzer tank you did.
Yeah, those are actually on FoodTribe.
Yeah.
But
those were amazing, because it just the amount of work you had to put into them. And it was neat because, one time we'd be having a call and you'd be like, hey, I got this. And, you're working on this little tiny bit. And then the next call is like, hey, I got this done. And
wow.
So we kind of got to see it in progression in real time in a way. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely. It's always fun to make something like. So I actually posted I think the last time was the cake. I can't even remember what I've done this last week. Yeah, the birthday cake.
Yeah.
The birthday cake, I actually posted that on FoodTribe. It didn't print it, of course. It was just a 3D model. And the burger, second edition, I made a new burger.
Yep.
What else did I make? A donut, yeah.
God, you've been doing so much. And, well, I didn't even, this is bad. Probably it shows maybe I'm a bad friend. I don't know. I didn't even realize you actually had a YouTube channel. And I was going to, the funny part about that is I didn't know. And you know how when you bring up YouTube, it brings you like recommended videos?
Yes.
And I think it was your battleship. It was,
oh yeah.
Yeah, anyway. And I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And then I looked down and I seen your name and I'm like, what?
Well, I don't really use it. What I just use my YouTube for is just I just put all my creations, animations, not the photos. The photos are just on my Instagram, but all the animations I put them on Instagram and on YouTube, but only so I can share them if I want to find a job in this specific, because I'm thinking of changing from aviation to 3D modeling.
You're awful
So
good.
that's well, the aviation is kind of in a bad situation right now. So I have to find something else, and I thought maybe this is very cool to do so.
Well, like I said, you're good at it. I there was a lot
Thanks.
of your animation videos I didn't even know you had, like the boat one. I knew you had been working on like the wine bottles and the wine glasses and
Of course.
water stuff like that. I knew those during our calls and stuff, and even on Discord, you would share, progress with them and stuff. So I kind of kept up that way, but I had no idea. And then I looked and I was like, man, he's got a whole string of videos here. And since I have a short attention span most of the time, it works out great because most of your videos are like a minute, minute and a half long. I think you got like a couple long ones at like a few minutes.
Yeah, most are 10 seconds, because you have to understand that a 10-second video are 300 pictures. And for every picture can take like, well, worst case scenario, the longest I ever made took 2 hours just for the photo. It's not like I make a screenshot. It really builds the photo. You can basically see it if you have an A4 piece of paper. You draw little squares on it, and every square you have to create photos of 128 times, just to make sure how the light goes through an object and all this stuff. So it can take. I believe I once made one of my first real projects was we had a castle in this town during the 1800s until Napoleon arrived. He destroyed it, and there is nothing left of it. But I'm actually the first one who said, well, I want to make a model of this. So I'm the first one who made a 3D model of it. It ain't complete yet because the dimensions are wrong. But one of these photos took me almost 2 hours to make.
Wow.
So this was a lot of time. That's why sometimes my videos are only 10 seconds long, because it's still 300 frames. Let's say 10 minutes a frame. It takes a couple of days. Especially the Egyptian village that I made, which a lot of people on our private Discord have seen. I mean, the most of them were already renting houses. They was like, "That's my house. I want to be next to that village. I want to be next." That was funny. I mean, I just posted, "Look, I make some houses. That's mine. Mine."
Yeah, mine.
Mine. Guess who it was?
Yeah, yes, that tells you who it was right there. Maybe I ought to have you work on some of the graphics for this whole thing. Do like the podcast, do like an intro for it or something cool.
Oh, definitely. I can do something like that.
YouTube.
I can think of something I can make. Yeah.
I'm sure you can. Like, well, when I was doing the World Burger Tour.
Oh yeah, I made that one.
I was like, dude, I wonder. I have a thought, and it was like later that day. It was like no time at all. You send me back this thing, and it's got World Burger Tour, little burger on it, and the whole bit. It's like 2020, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, but that was actually the burger already made, so it was just get the same object and then change the environment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, that was actually easy peasy. But if I have to make a burger, I mean, the last burger I made was last week. It took me like 6 hours just to make a burger, and you have to understand it's just like a cylinder object or a cube object or a ball object, and you have to reshape it, put on modifier things, a lot of things, textures, and then you get something like that. So, but yeah, it can go fast. It can go. If I have to make a cube, it's really easy.
Yeah.
I just add a cube. It's done. But
and then like back to the 3D printing, like it ain't as perfect as everybody thinks, because I remember when you showed, you was trying to do the Lamborghini, and you had the one that come out and it looked bad. You showed me, like, well, starting over, and I thought, no, I couldn't do it. If I failed, I'd just be like, I'm done. I'd just move on to something else.
It happens a lot. I think the last time I actually printed something for someone else, he said, "Could you print that?" It was like something to hold something. And I said, yeah, sure. And I just put it on and just went out. And I came back. The printer was still on. It was still printing, but there was no ink left. So it was
No.
like just printing, and it was already I think this high. It was already above the model. And I was like, no, let's start again. But you can't reuse it. That's the problem. You can't reuse it. You have to throw it away and start over. And
No.
I mean, there was once, I believe, I made an article on FoodTribe about printing food.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't have it anymore. It was like this big. It was just like a centimeter high or something. So half an inch. And it took me 30 minutes just to print. So for food, it ain't that great.
Nice. So how did you end up on FoodTribe?
I started on FoodTribe once, didn't like it, so I stopped. And then I kept coming back through the videos that James May makes on FoodTribe, and I think it was the one with Richard Hammond about a poached egg, that video. And I thought, well, maybe I should try FoodTribe then. So I actually just did it. I just made an account and I just started liking it. I mean, we have talked about this so many times. The community on FoodTribe, it's much more friendly and open, in my opinion. In our opinion,
Yeah.
it's not that informative. It's just like have friendship, have fun. Yeah.
And yeah, it is. It don't. Well, me and Leela and Jane, talk about it because all three of us are. Well, Leela's far more into FoodTribe. I mean, just her thing. She occasionally comes over to FoodTribe, and she even admits it. She said it's daylight and dark difference. And I told her, I said, when you go over to FoodTribe, you can almost get lost over there. First of all,
yeah, it's too big.
Grown into such a monster now that they have so many tribes, and we have talked at length about if you're a brand new person who you just day one, okay, if you just now downloaded FoodTribe and jumped in, no one's going to know you're there. I mean,
No one. No.
Yeah, you're just going to be lost. There's going to be people who maybe in the comments are like, oh, okay, but they aren't going to bother to see how new or old you are as far as how long you've been there. That's just you just get lost in the mix. And if you ever tried to make a name for yourself and do something,
it's hard. Well, the thing is, it's not really FoodTribe anymore. It's transportation drive. I mean, it has everything. Actually, you should have a FoodTribe, everything with cars. You should have a FlyTribe, for example, something with planes.
they do.
A rail one, something with trains, one with boats, SeaTribe. I don't know.
Yeah.
And of course, it's much easier to say this than the infrastructure, of course, in the back. But maybe. I mean, FoodTribe is different.
It's like, well, I know probably a lot of people won't get this because a lot of people live in very large metropolitan areas. To me, it's like being in small town USA. People know each other. You can talk to each other. Everything's fine. You kind of know everybody and their lifestyle. And you go over to FoodTribe, it's going into that large metropolitan area, and it's like, okay, there's just people everywhere, and I don't know, you lose that smallness that FoodTribe has when you go over there, and there's a lot more drama. It's a lot more drama over there, and people's feelings get hurt more. It's just so different. I mean, there's still a lot of great people over there. I could name hundreds of great people that's over there. But it's just so massive now because when I started FoodTribe, I've said this thousands of times. It was literally FoodTribe is bigger now than FoodTribe was when I started FoodTribe. And I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. And now it has grown into this behemoth. And I think that I want FoodTribe to prosper. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I do. That's why I'm doing this right here. Is I want FoodTribe to be bigger. I want it to be better. I want it to be more than what it is. But at the same time, it scares me, if I'm honest, because I don't want it to be drive.
Like drive, no.
Yeah,
But the thing is, you can actually see, because if I log in on drive, it's like you said, it's like looking towards a forest. I can only see trees. But when I look on FoodTribe and I'm not gonna look at articles that are hot or are from friends. I just look at new. You can always see the same persons who. Oh, sorry, my Siri goes on for my phone. If you can always see the same people. Well, posting stuff. Sometimes you see something new. You can actually see something. Hey, I'm new here. It's like, hey, welcome to the club, to the community, and it's so different indeed. It's like walking from a rainforest to a garden center.
Yeah.
I mean, it's suddenly organized.
Very different. I remember when I started FoodTribe, a little over a year now. The only person who knew I was there initially was Marcus Milligan, and he was immediate. And Marcus was the welcoming committee back in the day. He was the only person, and I almost thought he was a bot at first, because I thought he just, as soon as someone joins, he welcomes them, and it was just immediate. And he was the only one. And then I thought, that's a brilliant idea. And next thing I know, well, we ended up with what was the unofficial welcoming committee. And it's like me and Jane and now Zara and a few others have jumped in. And it's hilarious because you know the new people immediately. Just go to the comments. And there's like a list of people who is welcoming them in. And, there's even those, who are saying, if you need any help, let us know. And first of all, I never thought I'd be in a position on FoodTribe where I'd be telling people, hey, if you need help, let me know. I can get you around. But now, here we are. You go to Drive Tribe, you are literally left on your own. It's sink or swim. And if you don't know how to swim, you're sinking.
It's not like that. It's just I want to post something. Where should I put it?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I got this. I'm like you said, I make this little 3D tank, and I was like, where should I put it? Should I put it in hobbies? Should I put it in tanks? Oh, there is nothing with tanks. Should I put it in German vehicles because it's still German? But where should I put it? And in FoodTribe, it's so easy. Okay, well, for me mostly it's baking, food fun. I think, however, they should put something like hobbies in it.
That would be fun.
Something about hobbies where you got more freedom. Or what else is the other one? The vegetarian stuff for me, or vegan or vegetarian. But yeah, I think it's so different. It's like between night and day.
And we're going through a serious tribe edit now, if people haven't noticed. There's a lot of tribes that aren't there anymore that we used to have. The one I think some people were upset with is FoodTribe disappeared.
I just thought, where is it? But I think why? I mean, it's kind of ironic because sometimes we got a FoodTribe.
Yeah.
With food.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, but I'm not gonna eat my pets.
Well, yeah, I get that. The thing is it is something that I thought it was fine. Well, actually, I remember when they added it. And I was like, why in the world do we need this now? And for the longest time, I was hesitant to even post on anything on FoodTribe. And I thought, you know what? People were flooding it with everything. And I thought, you know what? Do it. So I finally, I put a story up about me, Lucy, my cat. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then it was kind of cool because those pet owners could have a little way of sharing pet stories and stuff like that. And it was kind of fun.
FoodTribe.
Yeah.
Let's have an animal tribe, a FoodTribe, something like that.
Hey,
third one.
Yeah.
Like I said, one for vehicles, one for food, one for pets. Maybe a sport tribe for the ones who like sports.
Well, they've talked about making different tribes and letting it go, and they're combining tribes because there for a while it was getting confusing. There was so many tribes. You didn't know where to post stuff. Some of it just didn't even make sense. And now they're starting to kind of streamline them down. And I think, right now it's a bit of a fiasco, but I think it'll be better in the long run. First of all, hey, look, I don't care. I got barbecue tribe. I'm ecstatic. I'm good. I got burger tribe, meat tribe, and barbecue tribe. That's all I need.
You're done.
I don't need anything else. But I think it'll be better once they streamline it down. It'll be so much easier to know where to put things, because, like you said, when you go to Drive Tribe, you just sit there and go, I don't know. In fact, I got invited. Well, I've been invited to several tribes over on Drive Tribe. Nolan Carter, he's great.
Yeah.
He invited me over to Airplane Tribe. Aviation.
Exactly, me too. And I was looking for it and I couldn't find it.
Right.
That's how big Drive Tribe become. I couldn't find it. And then suddenly it's on Discord. They say on the creators Discord. They said, "Do you know there is you're an aviation engineer?" I say, "Yes." "Do you know there is a tribe about planes?"
Yeah.
No, I tried to find it. I couldn't find it. Well, here it is. And I got the link and I was like, damn, there's so many good articles on this.
Right?
But still, I don't go towards it because it's so huge. I just like FoodTribe more. It's like most times if I check on Drive Tribe, I got a message from Drive Tribe. Oh, it's from John Goldman or something. I just read their articles and then that's it. On FoodTribe, I really am going to see, oh, what's new? Oh, great. Somebody posted about a cupcake. Okay, I'm going to respond.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I got involved, and I thought, Nolan, don't you realize I have never been on a plane before? I don't know anything about planes. Nothing. I can't help you. I know at one time there was planes made with Merlin engines. Okay, I know that.
Spitfire.
Spitfire, our Mustang, the Messerschmitt, and the Japanese Zero. There was Concorde. There's a 747 and a C-30. That's what I know. Okay, that's kind of what I know. That's almost the entire extent of my airplane knowledge. And then any of them.
And then I come along. Oh, look, it's a Pratt & Whitney 144. What?
Yeah,
what are you talking about? It's an F-16. Yes, but it has a Pratt & Whitney one.
And I'm sitting there going, okay.
Good story. Yeah, take another one. Yeah, drink another one.
Yeah, and I have a very large aviation museum not far from me. Well, actually, it's just toward Dayton at Wright-Patterson and them. And it has the airplane that the Wright brothers first flew in. It's there, and all the cool stuff is there. I mean, I've been there. I've just never been in a plane. And I thought, Nolan, what are you doing, dude? I'm probably the worst person to invite. I joined the tribe, but I'm never over there because what am I going to contribute?
Like me, I've been in a plane many times, but I haven't flown that many. I've been in a plane every day, but I never flew that many times.
Now the one case it worked out. I think it was Mason Bloom. I think anyway. It's been a while. Invited me over to the fuel injection tribe, and he done it from FoodTribe. That was the hilarious part of it. And I thought, okay, why? And I went over and I seen that Leela was in charge of. She had taken over fuel injection, and I didn't know that. I talked to Leela a bit on FoodTribe, but really nothing on. We never really talked on Drive Tribe. And I was like, oh, and they was looking for people to contribute stuff like that and post things over there to kind of get the tribe up and running. And even then I was like, what am I going to post? And I had to talk to her. I'm like, what are you guys going with here? And all that. And I'm like, could I post this? And, she's like, well, yeah, post whatever you want. Don't matter. And I thought, see, FoodTribe's easy. I just go over there and I post it. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But over in Drive Tribe, people are very very more. There's my good English showing through. Are a lot more specific with their tribes, and it's like, okay, well, you gotta follow the rules.
Well, I understand certain tribes on Drive Tribe, like you have I own a Kia, so you get the Kia owners club, and I think okay, that's fine. But if I hear you got the fuel injection club, I was like, why? I mean, it's like I love Lamborghinis. It's completely my dream car. So I am in the Lamborghini, but I'm also invited at the time to the Lamborghini Owners Club. But I don't own one, so I was like, why should I be in the Owners Club? Yeah, you're invited. I don't own a Lamborghini, but
Right.
yeah, I'm still in it, and I'm into I love Lamborghinis or something, or Lamborghini Hobby Club. I have no idea which one. But I was
Nice.
like, so we have like 5 Lamborghini tribes. Why?
Well, I went in, I remember when we bought the Tacoma, and I was like, cool, I want to write some stuff about the Tacoma. Because I'm a Tacoma fanboy. Anybody who knows me, I love them. And I went in and I was like, okay, Drive Tribe, find the Tacoma tribe. And this list just went on and on and on. And you're like, I don't know. And then you would go into some of them and they were like sort of closed. All the posts were deleted, or the newest post was like 2 years ago, and you're like, okay, this ain't gonna do me no good, and you just give up. You just literally give up. And well, I got invited over the fuel injection, and I thought, I don't even know what I want to do over here. I'm grateful I got invited, and now look at me. I told the story before. That's how I got suckered into this business. I was hanging out over there, help read stuff and just commenting and just trying to participate some. And, then all of a sudden I see, Leela's trying to start these podcasts up, and people kept canceling on her. And now I did, and I got the bright idea of, hey, look, you've canceled several weeks in a row. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm more than happy to jump on, and I can talk cars with anybody at any time. And I thought, so, hey, and now look, I'm doing that podcast regularly. And now I'm doing one for FoodTribe, because I looked back and I thought, we are a much tighter knit community over on FoodTribe. Why don't we have something where it's just us sitting around talking food and talking about each other and just, things like that, like what there. And it's like, because in all reality, we have a better community for it. And I was like, we need that. And my first thought was, somebody needs to start a podcast for FoodTribe. And then I thought, it's going to have to be me. And I even brought it up to John Coleman. I'm like, why don't we have a podcast? And first thing he tells me is, Doug, that's a brilliant idea. I can't wait to see what you do. And I'm like, that's not what I meant, John. That's not what I meant. I was hoping that somebody who knew more than me would.
John is the perfect CEO.
Yeah.
He is the perfect CEO. Oh, great.
Yeah. He does fall into that management really well.
Why don't you come with ideas? I don't want to see ideas. I want to see end results.
Yeah. And it was hilarious, because that's basically what you got. And I was like, yeah, but John, I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, if you need anything, come see me.
That means you can get a laptop from him.
Yeah.
If you need anything, he didn't say specifically what, so.
Yeah, and I'm like, John, you don't understand. I have no idea what I'm doing. How do I do this? And, he was even trying to, he's the one that taught me how to do the Discord calls. He was trying to help me do those, because he thought that's how I would start it. Because believe it or not, this podcast idea has been around. I've been wanting to do this for, oh my goodness, probably it's been months now. I mean, months now. And it's just been stewing, and I've been trying to figure out how to do it. And he was trying to get me to do it through Discord originally. And I didn't know how to run Discord. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, well, you just go in, you do this and that. And, it's just a real blanket description. And I'm like, I have no idea.
I know.
This will never get off the ground because I don't know what I'm doing. And Leela's been a great help. Leela has been a fantastic help, and she's been able to kind of guide me through this chaos. And now I'm doing this for FoodTribe, and I thought, we need this. A lot of us.
Oh, go ahead. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I just go
Well,
on.
I think it's a good stuff, but I think it will be fun if we have some of the admins in it, like John Coleman, maybe Rachel Hogg, and there will be a lot more fun, I think. And it
Yeah.
gives some insight from both sides. I'm not asking Stephen, hey, James May, join us. There will be, I mean, he's busy enough as it is.
Yeah.
But I think it will be cool if, like, Lucy Brown or Rachel Hogg or John Coleman will join too. I think that will be great. I mean, they have a different insight.
It would be a different perspective because, well, I've talked to John a bit. Me and John's got to know each other quite well over the time, and he is fantastically funny. I mean, he is so cool. I mean, we get to know him in the comments and pick fun at him, and he there again. We can pick fun at each other, and I'm sure people has to know that by now. Like me ragging him about McDonald's and his poor life choices because of McDonald's. And I'm the only person that gets to call him Sir Juicy John. And he
Not everybody does.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's no exclusive club, but it's one of the, and he takes everything in great humor. And in fact, I even asked him, I said, John, if I do this, would you be willing to jump on? I said, because, okay, part of a personal.
Sorry, wrong button.
Good.
Well,
like,
subscribe.
And he agreed. He's like, no, I would do it. Now the thing that's going to be hard getting it timed is him being in Australia. The time difference is so drastic.
Yeah.
Like for us,
time.
Yeah, because like for us, it's only 6 hours. You're like 6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, it's 10 p.m. right now. So.
Okay, I have no idea what time it is here. So
well, 6 hours earlier, 4 p.m.
Here, yeah. I don't have a clock in the room anywhere, so I have. Anyway, my batteries died. Well, that happened on a phone call. Actually, I think we had. Yeah. So anyway, that don't work anymore. So getting it timed is going to be a real trick. But he's more than willing to do it. And I think that would be interesting because a lot of people just see him as, a community manager or whatever he claims. And me and him has had this conversation that, people see you as a manager and John really isn't. He is, but he will tell you, I'm just like everyone else. I'm just like you guys. I'm just a person, who enjoys this tribe. And he really is. And I would love to get on it because I've talked to him at length and stuff. And we've had our calls even. And once you get to know him, you realize he is us. I mean, he is no different than us. And, I told him, I said, you got to think there is a lot of people who look at you as some kind of a management. You're up here, and everybody else is down here. And he's so not that. And once you get to realize that, now I don't think Lucy Brown would have any interest in talking to us. And I don't think it's because she's just got other stuff to do. She's just others. And I think Rachel would probably be the same way. Maybe if we ever get the podcast grow to a certain level, she might. But there again, she is a very busy person. She's got so much other stuff going on. James May, look, he can't even answer a comment. Before anybody gets lit in the comments, I'm not bashing James May. I'm not upset. I'm not.
Oh,
he's a busy man. He's
when
got
this
a lot
is posted, James May's gonna comment, "You blithering idiot!"
Yeah, you make fun of me. Yeah, I'll have you thrown off FoodTribe. No, I mean he is. He's got a lot going on, and let's face it, he can't be. I don't want to say can't be bothered. He's just too busy to pay attention to comments and the details.
he's just gonna respond to you. Laugh, wave, delete your account.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I was hoping when we were helping with the James May fakeaways, the leftover business we was doing a few months ago, or whatever. I kind of hoped that something, at least some kind of hey in the comments, and it didn't happen. But he is a very busy person. He's got so much stuff going on that for him to just sit on his phone like we do at times and go through all the comments and stuff, it just ain't gonna happen.
I think they don't respond that many often, because if they respond to one person, other people are going to suspect they other ones too. Because I have been at one comment from Jeremy Clarkson once, and I told it to someone else, and she was completely well. He doesn't like my account or something, and she was completely almost depressed by it.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, why? Nothing. He just said, okay, good, what, or something very nice or something, and you can actually see. Well, I don't know how old he is or how young, but he said very nice, but he wrote it completely. There were some typos in it, and that actually explains that he actually had to respond very quickly. So,
yeah.
Indeed, they have no time. But I said, if there is like someone like John Coleman, someone from FoodTribe in the calls itself, will be very fun, because it shows it's not just a money-making machine, and it's more like a real community. That's something what I would love to see.
Yeah.
Let me get some water.
Well, hopefully, keep an eye out, because, like I said, he has agreed to do it, and he actually does want to. But there again, when it comes to a lot of things, it is just him and Rachel, and that's what a lot of people don't realize is it's FoodTribe and DriveTribe is a very small team that actually keep everything running.
Mm-hmm.
I think he told me at one time it's like 16 people. That's all it is. And and him and Rachel are running basically FoodTribe, and it's like. For people who may not know either, is this poor boy puts in a lot of work and time. He is tired all the time, and I get it. Like I said, there's a time frame difference between us. When we're getting up in the morning, it's turning into his evening, and so I have seen him on at 2. Almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, our time. And that is like wee hours of the morning for him. That's like 7 o'clock in the morning for him. And he's been up all night working and doing. And then he'll go to sleep for just a few hours, and then you'll catch him right back on going at it again. And, I've caught him a few times going, hey, John, you need to check this out. And, talking to him about something on FoodTribe. And he's like, well, as soon as I'm done, taking care of his duties on DriveTribe, he comes over and then he starts on FoodTribe. And it's like, dude, I don't know how. Yeah. And I sent him a message going, John, go to bed, my boy. Go to bed. And he's like, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And I thought, no, go to bed. That's what you need is some sleep. You're going to crash. And I have messaged him, and I don't know if he'd want me saying this, but I'm going to. I love you, John.
Wait! You said I love you. I have to do it hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have told him, and I said, John, trying to get a hold of him, and I'm like at John, trying to get his attention because it was something I really needed to ask him, and he'll tell me, I'm sorry, I fell asleep at my computer, and it's like, go to bed, man. Just go to bed, But you know what? In that same right, I have messaged him before with questions or ideas or something, to talk about. And he's like, Doug, I'm literally getting in bed. But if you hurry, and even though he's getting into bed, he's still, and we'll just, next thing you know, it's an hour later, and he's still trying to help get through things. And the boy is dedicated. I give him credit. And that's what a lot of people don't know about John is the hours and the work he puts in. And he does it because he loves FoodTribe. and he'll tell you that.
He loves his job, yeah.
Yeah, and he said he never thought he'd have a job that he loves this much. And it's weird because, any job I would put that many hours into and that much headache into, you just want to go beat your head against the wall and be done with it. And he doesn't. He's there all the time. And so shout out to John. Hey, thanks for keeping the lights on and doing what you do. Yeah. And let's not leave out Rachel. Rachel does her bit. I just interact more with John. I do. I interact more with John. So I know John.
That's because Rachel is more the boss, really the boss of FoodTribe.
She does.
If you keep the trio like Richard Hammond, James May, and Jeremy Clarkson out of the equation, Rachel Hawk is I thought the boss. I believe she is.
There's some other people above her. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who probably don't realize they post and they're on both FoodTribe and DriveTribe, and they're like CEOs and the people who actually pay the bills above her. But they're again, FoodTribe is a very tiny group, or not FoodTribe, but just tribes as a rule is a very very small group of people, and And then Rachel's just got so much stuff to do. She's still trying to help take care of DriveTribe, FoodTribe. She's trying to do her own cooking thing. She is. And then she's doing the videos with James May. The girl's busy. I mean, and then she's trying to do sponsorship stuff.
And don't forget COVID, the lockdowns in England right now, and I believe everywhere almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard.
It is, and there's a lot of these people. I would love to sit and talk to Rachel. I would. I mean, Rachel is a very nice girl. I have little interaction with her, honestly. I've talked to her a little bit, nothing like John. Like I said, I've actually had video calls with John and stuff like that, and it's different. I know John better. I've never had that with Rachel. We've had a few conversations or DMs back and forth, but other than that's really it. I just know she's busy. So that's why I end up dealing with John more. So, but yeah, just, John's agreed to do this, and I think that would be great because there's so much even I don't know about him that I would love to ask him and stuff. So it'd be great.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think we'll just go ahead and close this out. Be done. I don't know how we've been recording, but this is probably going to be a long one.
2 hours, I guess.
Yes, this is going to be the long. So okay, I'll go ahead. Yeah.
Put in a Dutch guy, and it happens.
Well, and it shows though. I mean, me and you can talk to each other so easily.
For hours.
And
like I said, just checking me messing up in a computer game, and we're jumping from one game to the other.
Yeah, it don't matter. It's just it is, and it it's nice that people get to see it. It's so easy to talk to you, and another side that they don't get to know us normally. They don't get to see who we are, and that's what I thought this would be great is people can see and see how we interact with each other. We like I said, I call y'all friends, and I mean it because hey, I last minute I say, hey, you up for a podcast? And you're like, sure. It's like, cool.
Well, you asked me before because it was of course all the medical thing.
Yeah.
Thingy. So, but you asked me before, and then you said, well, we didn't really had a date, and then suddenly you said like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you still in for it? Yes, but not now. I was actually planning just to go to bed.
And that's the brilliance of it is I asked him, I said, hey, would you be up for recording a podcast? And he's like, well, not right now. And I thought, well, not right now. I just, and it's a side that people don't normally get to see, now whether they'll sit through a 2-hour long video to figure it all out, I don't know. So
we didn't really plan it. We just said we do the intro, we talk about this, and then we do the final. That's it. Nothing is planned. It's like, we just say what we think right now. It's like real honesty.
Well, and it is what it is. It's sitting and talking to a friend. You're going to cover a lot of topics, go through a lot of things, and staying on topic and sticking to certain thing, it probably ain't going to happen. You're just going to bounce around as it goes. And so I'm glad people get to see it. I hope more people jump in and we get to do this. I would love to do a bigger podcast where more of us are involved in it. And, it's not, I love to doing the one-on-ones like this with you and stuff like that. and I have a few others in the pipeline. But I would like to do bigger ones and let people see like what the calls are when it's like me and you and Jane and Tabitha and Fulana and when.
Exactly what we actually talked about. It will be fun because you're completely obsessed with meat. let's face it. And then, well, you've got like we discussed today, my issue. But it will be fun if someone is like a vegetarian, another vegetarian who does it for the animals, which I completely understand and respect. But it will be fun if that person is in this cause too. So we actually have the three sides. What if someone really eats meat? One who chooses for the animals, and one who actually wants to do one but can't do the other.
Well, the one I'm excited about, John Coleman and some of the others, but I mean, Natalie has actually said she would come on here and do this with me, and I thought that would be great because first of all, in theory, we shouldn't really get along, but we really do, and that's great. And so yeah, maybe I can do one where maybe I'll talk to her like I am you, and then maybe we'll do one where the three of us or whatever, whoever else wants to jump in, and just discuss the differences. Like you said, there's you who has to do it. It's life or death, and then there's those who do it because they want
it.
Yeah, they choose it.
They choose it. Everybody makes a choice in life.
Yeah. And then you couldn't get any further from any of those with me. I mean, I'm just
lost cause, people. Lost cause on the other side.
Another one is like Denise Perry. Her son has several intolerances. So I wouldn't even mind doing a podcast of the different people who have all the different intolerances and talk about, how's it affect things in the normal world?
Yeah, in normal life.
Yeah,
I mean, it's easy for me, no meat. But if I wouldn't. How would I respond if I couldn't eat meat? I couldn't eat milk, drink milk, or eat any gluten. That will be harsh. The only thing you can eat are, well, vegetables and fruit. I don't mind the fruit part, but the vegetable part, that will be you.
Yeah,
that
right.
would be a disaster.
Well, and like Denise Perry, her boy has all the intolerances. Now, I think if I remember right, Denise doesn't have any, and her husband don't have any, but it's their little boy, and he's got a bunch. So they have to alter everything they eat because of their little boy. And I think, wow, man, I would just love to learn how people adapt and overcome that, and educate myself. I mean, too. I mean, and maybe it'll help people who have problems and say, I have these intolerances and I don't know how to, fix a certain thing, or I avoid this, and then find out, hey, I don't have to avoid it. I just have to look for something different or whatever, because these people's lived with it and now they know how to deal with it. Like I said, I never knew about the sudden meat intolerance till I talked to you, and
neither did I. Like I said, you can have it. It can happen suddenly or by a thick infestation or something.
Yeah. But, so maybe we can get together and discuss some things and get some people together and do that. That would be a lot. That'd be a lot.
Be cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's close this out before we go another hour. And I don't know if anybody wants to watch a 3-hour podcast. Maybe they will. I don't. Zara might. I know Zara probably would. But anyway, we'll gloss past that right now. Thanks everybody for watching, joining in. If you've made it through 2 hours of this, God bless you. I don't know how you did, but I'm glad you did. Remember, like, share, comment, and if you like what we're doing, there you go. He's showing you. He's showing you. Hit that little bell to get notified when I do this. I'm hoping to do it once a week, and just stay tuned. Hopefully, we get to do another one. Bye, y'all. Cool.